channel. Today we are continuing the Meal Prep March series with breakfast. So I'm making egg muffins, which I don't know if you remember, they were a big deal on Pinterest like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't know. But I tried making them then and they were horrible. So I found a recipe that I actually love, and this is what we do for breakfast every week. So I've started by sauteing spinach. My favorite breakfast period would be a spinach and feta omelet. So I'm making egg muffins that are basically a spinach and feta omelet. So the spinach is actually done already, and I have this device, it just says Misto on it. My mother-in-law got it for us for Christmas, and you have to pump this a few times, like 15 times. And then I can spray my muffin tin, which needs to be replaced sometime soon. So I just want to make sure that you get everything really well so that your eggs don't stick inside of the pan. And then you're supposed to discharge this by just unscrewing the top. And I always like to just wipe it down. It usually has oil all over it after that. So I have my spinach. I used an entire bag and sauteed it in the pan with some salt. I like to put the salt right on the spinach because it actually gets absorbed into the spinach and it makes the spinach that comes out a little bit juicier and it just tastes better. So I do a little bit. This recipe is going to actually make 12 egg muffins, which is perfect for my husband and I to have breakfast Monday through Thursday. So if I only get to prep one meal for the week, it's going to be breakfast because my husband and I both have to leave every morning by 6:30, and breakfast is easily the most difficult thing for us to have to do in the morning. It just takes up the most time. And unfortunately, the route I have to take now that I drop my son off at grandma's house, I can't stop at Dunkin' Donuts like I used to in the past if we didn't have breakfast in the morning. So next I'm gonna take feta cheese. I just get crumbled feta cheese at the store. I just spilled it everywhere because I like lifted it up to show what it was. And then I take a spoon and put a heaping spoonful into every muffin cup. So the recipe for this I love because it's very versatile. You could put anything you want in your egg muffins. I just prefer spinach and feta, but I don't even think that's one of the options listed on the website. I think it has things like bacon and cheddar cheese and like onion and peppers. And I know we made it that way at least once and it was really good. I just like that spinach and feta is really easy to make. So I'm now cracking my eggs. I have this giant measuring cup and I honestly bought it just to make this recipe. It's a lot easier to pour the eggs out into the muffin tin using this. So the recipe calls for 10 eggs. And then nothing else on top of that. Like there's no like milk or heavy cream or half and half or anything like that. It's just eggs, which again makes it so easy. So now that I have all my eggs cracked and in here, I'm going to take a whisk and just make sure I break up all the yolks and start to mix them up. So the oven was preheating for 375 and these are going to go in for 25 minutes. So as I'm filming this, it's Sunday, March 1st. So excited to get to March. It feels like that light at the end of the tunnel. Daylight savings is finally next week. I look forward to that day from the time that we start daylight savings in November. So it's finally going to be here and we'll get the sunlight, and then the countdown to spring break starts. So the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but I skip it because I already put some in with the spinach, and I think there's another 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper if you choose, which some weeks I do, lately I haven't. It just depends on whether or not you want like a little kick in your morning breakfast. If I was making like the bacon and cheddar cheese version of this, I might put in the red pepper, but for spinach and feta, it's just not quite the right flavor. So we're not even really sure what to count down to for when spring break begins. We've only used 4 of our 10 snow days, so we have 6 potential give back days. The first one possibly would be March 13th, which would be nice because it would be just this random 3-day weekend in the middle of March, which we need because we don't get any days off in March. So then the next thing is half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And I find that adding these spices is actually really difficult because it clumps together in with the egg and it's really hard to actually separate it. So I do my best to sprinkle in a little bit at a time and give it a stir in between. So let me know in the comments, when is your spring break? I'm always kind of perplexed because we don't have our spring break until, it's always the week before Easter. But other people, they get spring break like so randomly, like just in March, just because like it's not even spring yet for most of March. It baffles me. It's like when, and I'm sure for other places, they probably think it's weird that we get out in June, but I'm like, you get out for summer vacation in May and it's still spring. It doesn't really make sense to me. I'm hoping that I said to comment in the comments because I keep saying in all my videos to comment in the description box, which doesn't make any sense. And I've always been able to edit it out until the last video because I usually realize during the video what I said and I just repeat it so that I have the right thing when I edit. I didn't have that last time, so it was kind of funny. So I have my eggs all mixed up. I have my spinach and feta in the muffin tin. And now I'm just going to pour the egg into the muffin. This part is always like the trickiest. I have to do like a very little bit at a time. I don't know, it's just, I very easily put way too much in one over the other. So with this making 12 in the mornings, my husband has 2 of these. I have 1 because 1 is plenty for me. And we usually make it with toast. And if we have avocado, we'll do avocado toast. And it just helps keep us fuller longer. I really wish I could be one of the people that just has cereal in the mornings. It would certainly be a lot easier. But if I have cereal in the morning, what happens is by the time I get to work, I'm starving. So it doesn't really work out. So if you wanted to meal prep avocado toast, what you can do is mash up your avocado ahead of time and add lemon juice to it. And that helps keep it fresher for longer. I know it's a thing. I haven't really done it all that much. I know I have before, but it's been a while. I remember I bought lemons specifically to do that with, and then that's when our kitchen was destroyed by the cats, and I never really got around to just pre-mashing up my avocado, but it's definitely something that you could do. So once I have the egg poured into the muffin tins, I will take a fork and just mix it up so that not everything is at the bottom. And it just helps to evenly distribute out the egg that went in there. So another meal prep idea that we do for breakfast regularly, not lately, but we like to do quiches. So there's a couple, I'll link my favorite quiche recipes down below, but there's a couple of different quiches that we make. And what we do in the morning is when my husband like makes his coffee or something, whoever comes downstairs before we're getting ready to leave, we'll take the oven and preheat it to 400 and put the quiche in. We actually don't even wait for the oven to preheat. We put the quiche in while the oven's preheating, and I think 8 minutes. 8 minutes with it preheating to 400 is just right for quiche in the morning, but microwaving quiche in the morning is not good. When we make the egg muffins in the morning, we will microwave them. If we put 3 of them in, we microwave them for 45 seconds. And it comes out just right. I remember when I tried doing egg muffins a few years ago, I did not like how it was when it was microwaved. And that was why I stopped trying it. So I got all these done. They're gonna go in the oven now. So it's 25 minutes at 375. So 25 minutes has elapsed and here they are. So we let these cool down, obviously, and I pull them all out of here. Sometimes I have to like twist them so they don't stick in there all the way. And then I'll actually show what I store them in. So 25 minutes has gone by and here's the finished product. So these are obviously going to have to cool down, but once they're cool enough, I'll take by hand and just twist inside of the cup so that they come free. So we like to store these in this container. It's by the brand OXO. And what we do is we actually put them in like sideways. So if I stack them in sideways going like this way, so there's 2 rows of them, they actually would all fit in this, which you might not think it. And I might have to squish them a little bit, but they pop right up when we're ready to make them. So with this being March, the whole reason that I'm doing meal prep as my theme for videos for this month is March to me is like a big teacher burnout month. We are in between that time where January and February have finally ended and they were dark, grueling months, but we still have a push to spring break. And usually right around now, teachers are starting to feel the effects of teacher burnout. And when I was starting to feel symptoms last year, it was right around this time. So something as simple as changing your routine to incorporate meal prep actually can be very, very helpful to feeling better. If you're looking for other resources for teacher burnout, I will link my videos below and blog posts that I have on the topic. It's a big thing to me because I went through teacher burnout in the 2015-2016 school year, and I was to the point where I was trying to figure out what else can I do with a math degree besides teaching, because I was ready to quit. So I've come a long way since then, and honestly this year I don't feel that burnout this year. I do feel exhaustion, don't get me wrong. It's been a long time. I almost feel like maybe I need a mental health day, but if we get that day off on the 13th or a snow day between now and then, I'll probably be fine. So if you're starting to feel some symptoms of teacher burnout, feel free to reach out anytime in the comments or on Instagram. I'm always happy to chat with someone that's struggling with that because I know how hard that is. So that's everything for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and make sure you check out the links below and stay tuned because our final video in the series is about meal prepping snacks.